Alright, the fourth opening of My Hero Academia is Odd Future, and I just don't like that. It's like a weird techno remix.
When do we get Bumper Chicken to do an opening for My Academia?
Never, apparently. I guess the final 8 season, if we have a chance. Hi. Sorry that I don't know how the third or fourth opening goes. I don't like them, Annie.
And I really don't watch any openings, but I'm gonna change that, Minty.
We keep watching Elusive Samurai's opening, and I'm like, this isn't the change I think you wanted.
It's a good opening.
It's a good opening. It is FunUntitled, where we're saying F you and goodbye to My Hero Academia.
Oh, kind of. We have another episode after this.
The epilogue.
But anyway, so the epilogue is basically, we're gonna just talk about, okay, well, I don't really want to talk about the impact that Deku has made on the society and how everyone is gonna help people. And the old lady learned her lesson by ignoring Tamura and thought that she should go save that other kid.
Look, I'm just gonna say a chapter from the epilogue. You tell me if you like that chapter, yes or no. Then we'll get into the meat of what you really want to talk about.
Okay.
Alright, first chapter epilogue. They're in the hospital. Baku Deku has their gay moment where Kachan was like, I don't know, I just thought we would be chasing each other's tears for the rest of our lives.
I was super gay.
Super gay. Like, his parents was there and everything watching that.
It's a nice moment because it kind of comes full circle of Bakugo realizing what he's kind of done to Deku and how like Deku is strong for, like, even though he's lost the quirk, he doesn't resent it. He just appreciates the time he had with it.
Do you like that Deku had that mentality where like, oh, I've never had this quirk, it was a gift, so I'm just glad that I was able to live my dream for a bit?
I liked it because the alternative is him crying that he lost his quirk, and that would be so breaking.
Yeah, like Deku, you stay humble, baby. Alright, next chapter. We wrap up the... I always forget the Kim Kardashian parody that we call the Todorokis. Like,
keeping up with the Todoroki.
Yeah, that's it. What do you think about the finale of the Derby?
I think we talked about this in the first part, but it's very cute. It's the whole, like, Derby gets to kind of vent out his angers and frustrations. And like I said in the first part, it's nice that Shoto will probably be the one to save him because that's the one bridge he hasn't burnt yet.
I was Natsuo would come back with his mouse wife to introduce to Derby though, and like, yep, not even dad met her.
I think that'd be cute too.
Next chapter, Deku visits Spinner. I just got you two. Did you even talk before this?
It was just weird. Like, okay, I don't understand the message that Deku gave him. I always keep destroying, and it's like, Shigaraki, did you get saved? Are you redeemed? What?
I think it was like supposed to be like Shigaraki never stopped fighting. But Spinner's relationship with Shigaraki was kind of gay. Like,
and forced on.
I don't understand why Shigaraki was like a hero to him. Like, shouldn't Spinner's hero should have been another hetero more? Not some cringy emo kid?
Well, I mean, he really likes Stain, and Stain looks fucked up.
Hey, we never talked once about Stain dying, did we?
I think we mentioned it somewhere. I think that end of part 2, maybe?
Funny. It's funny.
Why isn't his hero a hetero more? That really doesn't make sense.
Because this whole stupid plotline was forced at the end just to give Spinner some goddamn closure. I never saw a Spinner fan. If you're a Spinner fan, don't get in the comment. I don't want to see you. Because you're a heteromorph lover.
I also don't know if you're allowed to make a comic book in prison.
You gotta do something.
Well, I mean, like, a sharp tool like a pen, you'll just kill yourself or somebody else. And there's no way they're giving you electronic tablet.
No, they get computer time if they behave.
Okay, I guess they could write a novel.
Also in Japan, they could give him an ink brush.
That's true.
And then, like, Deku's like, alright, I think I wrapped up all the League of Villains that's still alive. Who else do I have to take care of? Oh my god, the 1A students are attacking us. The new 1A students, I should say. I think we need that moment.
It's world building.
It's world building, yeah.
As far as I can tell, that's all that was necessary for it.
That was funny as hell. Where Kachan was like, I'm not great with women. Really, hammering the fact that boy's a bit gay.
So it was whatever.
What did we think about the ending of Himiko Toga? She's dead and Ochako's sad about it.
I think it's nice. I think we also talked about this one part 2. It kind of wraps up the fact that Ochako does appreciate that Himiko gave her life for her, even if nobody is there to acknowledge it or have her name remembered for doing at least one good thing.
Okay, and what do we feel about Hawks becoming the next president of whatever the hell organization that groomed them to be a murderer?
The Safety Commission.
Oh my god, that name was so easy. Isn't that the same thing in Chainsaw Man?
I think so, actually.
Holy shit.
I think they're in charge of sending, like, saying which heroes go where, in a sense.
Oh.
I think it's weird because that's such like a desk job, like a bureaucracy.
To be fair, he did lose his quirk.
So I'm like, okay, which is fine, but I'm like, then you worked 8 years and you went from lowest in the totem pole to president?
I think it was stupid when he was talking about All Might being like, let's go on a point system. It's like, I thought we agreed agreed that the whole popular hero thing didn't work. Well, only if you focus on the cons. If you work on the positives, I think it worked out great. What are you talking about, Hawks?
He liked being number 2.
Endeavor beated his kids. Look at him, man. I know you're gay, but look at him.
Talk about Endeavor. So he's an asshole because he did quirk marriages, and quirk marriages are illegal.
Yes, and the beating of his family.
Yes, but if you need a sperm or a donor, are you not allowed to know the quirk?
God, could you imagine Bakugo just giving out his sperm because he has such a cool ass power? And everyone's like, I would love Bakugo's, owner Bakugo, professional hero Bakugo. Don't cancel me on TikTok. I understand that he is currently not the legal age.
Whatever the legal age is in Japan.
Yes.
Well, you know what I mean.
What age do you think is the legal age limit to donate sperm? I want to say not 18. You gotta be 25.
I think in America it's 18.
Ah, Jesus.
Because it's not really like harmful to donate a sperm.
One sperm. You say, good luck, buddy. I know you can do it.
And for the dropout watchers, the swarm.
No, but moving on. That's just epilogue. Did you like those chapters? Did you think it was necessary?
It's fine, I guess. It's hard to say no to world building, but you're kind of at the end, and that's not the world building you're looking for.
I'm just saying, FMA did a nicer epilogue, and everyone got one page because of so many characters. Scar got enlisted in the military somewhat.
Yeah, he's totally in.
Yeah, Boy's gonna become Fuhrer, I think.
I think Ed and Al split up, and Ed goes to the west, Al goes to the east. They both research alchemy.
I just think it's so funny, the bloopers where like, it's the epilogue, and Alphonse like, what if I push you off this roof and break your arms and legs again?
Jesus
I
Christ.
need a My Academia version of that. So then we skip forward 7 years. Deku, he beat the allegations and he got a job.
Whoa.
Not at McDonald's, but as a teacher at the #1 school in Japan.
UA High.
What does UA stand for?
There is no, what I remember, there is no name for UA. The reason why it's called UA is that it sounds like the Japanese word for hero.
Oh, that's cool as hell then. Oh, I guess so, huh? Hero? UA? No.
No, for the Japanese word.
Oh, gotcha. So I keep thinking of Crayon Chin-chan when the dad's like, my name's Hero. Kind of like the word hero. I realized maybe that was just a improvised line by the actor.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
Because 90s people got to do anything, as we can see in ghost stories.
Stupid. So Deku, he's a teacher of tiny kid with red hat and kid who got his mouth sewed together. And he's like, yeah, this is my life. Everyone else became pro heroes, but I'm just this guy.
And other people got side jobs as court counselors.
You want to talk about your beef here now?
Okay, here's my beef. Okay, let's talk about how My Academia could have ended, right? Either A, what you were expecting from reading it from the beginning, which is him becoming the #1 hero. Now, it is a shock that he loses his quirk and does not end up as the #1 hero. But I do think there is some poeticness in that there is no longer a need for one for all if all for one is gone. That's kind of poetic in its own self. So I'm fine with it not going that route, but the route of him being a UA teacher makes absolute no sense when in fact he should have been the court counselor because he as a child was told that he could never be a hero. He never had the guidance to what he should be. So he should come full circle as an adult, go to elementary schools and talk to children about quirks because he has done more research than anyone else on people's quirks, as you can see in the 13 volumes of his hero's notes. Why did you give this job to Ochako, Ira, Ropey, and Momo? Makes no fucking sense to give it to 2 lesbians and 2 rich kids who always had a quirk.
It was so weird for Choco from going from like a finance to being like, the world's hard, that you can have a cool quirk, but it doesn't make life easier, to I like to see people smile. Like, it was too similar to Deku's storyline.
Yeah, because the smile was a big part of All Might, and he wanted the stupid rabbit shit.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like the Choco had to just get that mentality to just push green tea, being like, you guys are so similar. But I'm like, I really didn't like this route for Choco. Sorry, lesbian fans.
Like, she and Deku could have been the court counselors. So she's got the whole Toga thing and how nobody told Toga what to do with her quirk. So then she just went like batshit crazy on drinking blood.
Again, makes no fucking sense because one of Toga's parents must have had a similar goddamn quirk. But one can be like, oh, I drink blood and like I gain, I don't know, like enhancements. Another one could have been like, oh, I can turn to other people.
Yeah.
And then you combine it to make Toga. It never was mentioned like her whole blood drinking thing came out of nowhere.
Right.
I think I always thought it was bullshit. The parents like, you scary. So, but yeah, when we go down the route where like it's Deku helps this kid called Dai that we saw in like a random ass chapter whose apparent powers destroy plates from his hair, and Deku's like, everyone can be heroes. See this? We made statues of random ass people. I guess they got enough points in the system that Hawks made, and so they got a statue. It's kind of like a fun factory thing.
Oh, one more thing. You can't be a UA teacher and say you can be a hero. They're already on the course to be a hero, so it doesn't matter.
That's why he said it to a random middle schooler.
But then if he was a court counselor, he could say that to almost everyone. I'm sure he'd be more like realistic. They're not filling everyone's hope that you can all go and join the hero course.
Yeah. Oh, Shoji won that Nobel Peace Prize. Good for him.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, I mean, I kind of get it because the manga just brings up the problem. They don't really talk about the solution. But who is it for Horikoshi to say what is the solution when he is probably not in that minority group?
Yeah.
But okay, I mean, the epilogue is cute because you kind of get to see what people do, and then all team class 1A comes together, makes money, Bakugo in charge of it, which is super funny to us that they made him in charge, and says that we're gonna go to Melissa Shields in America and get you your own Iron Deku suit.
Fun fact, in the original leaked translation, it said that Kachan, like, he donated the most money to it.
Oh.
But in the official, it translated to, like, he spearheaded the project. That's why, like, it got manager vibes. But, like, when they saw the leaks, people were like, that's hella gay, Kachan. Why are you giving the most money?
It is hella gay.
And I'm like, Kachan should not be giving the most money. It should 100% been Todoroki.
Yeah, boy rich as shit.
Boy rich as shit.
Although I don't know if he took his dad's company. Also, why does he not have a hero name?
And it'd be like that. Because he gave his character limit to Kachan. I think Kachan made it so long.
Great murder, explosion, god, dynamite. I don't care. Anyone says dynamite, it's a great name. Fuck Ground Zero.
Everything else was terrible. Yeah, Ground Zero, Stars and Stripe will tell you why that's not okay. Also, I will argue, no one's talking about this, but I will argue, I believe the guy from Vigilantes was in one of the last chapters of...
We should
My
talk
Academia.
about more about how I love him. He's a great character. Was Vigilantes the greatest story? No. But he was such a good character. The only thing that irritated me is that he could not properly name his fucking powers. Powers is literally shooty, go blam, blam.
The one thing that irritated me was that we thought Deku's final fight was disappointing. Koichi said, hold my beer.
Okay, yeah, it was too long for like a battle of attrition, really.
Moving on, though. It just reminded me of Captain Celebrity.
Skycrawler. Such a great name.
So Deku's like, I get to be Iron Deku, and we can all be heroes. What's that, Hawks? You want us to solve a landslide? Toru, sit the fuck down. You can't do shit. Let's go. And they do that cool jump in the air.
And she jumped anyways after Deku told her not
She does
to.
the peace sign just to piss off Deku. And Deku's like, ooh, girl.
She was gonna flip him off, but she saw the camera and thought, I'm gonna be nice about this on camera. You know, technically she should be invisible.
It's weird that Deku was on TV doing the last blow, but he wasn't the one with the fangirls. He wasn't the one that Japan was heralding as a hero.
I mean, I think people did, right?
No, I mean, he got a statue, but like everyone got a statue in his class.
That's true.
So, like, it should be like the next All Might. Where's his documentary?
That's the spin-off, the documentary of
I'm just saying,
Deku.
Japan should, like, Bakugo should have went to the president of Japan or whatever they have and be like, give us money.
We don't have money.
Wait, do you know how many buildings we have to rebuild? America's helping out. Give us money.
Give us lots of money.
Haiti gave us one cow. We love that cow. Now give us money. And that's the end of My Academia. I'm happy with the ending.
That's a good ending overall. It was just the final battle was mid.
It's just okay, I would say My Academia was a great story, like maybe like an 8 or a 9 for me on a scale of 10. And then the ending was a flat 6. Like, it's okay ending. It's just, I guess you couldn't live up to my expectations. And I don't know if it's fair for me to make you live it up.
I mean, the only superior endings as of right now that we know of is Fullmetal Alchemist and Assassination Classroom. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? A lot of people on social media are upset that he didn't become the #1 hero.
Muriel did.
Yeah. And I already kind of explained why it's fine. There's somewhat of a poeticness. And I think, like, and then people are expecting a My Academia Shippuden, which makes no sense because Naruto ends on a cliffhanger. My Hero Academia does not end on a cliffhanger.
Kachan did not leave Deku's side. Why would it be a Shippuden if Bakugo didn't leave?
He's not with Orochimaru, or whatever the equivalent that would be in this series.
Also, I didn't realize this just because, I didn't fully, I guess, appreciated what say My Academia. I didn't realize Shigaraki wanted to save Kachan. That's why he kidnapped him, because he saw how, like, quote-unquote repressed Kachan was during the sports festival when he was, like, being all locked up and not able, like, to fully go all out.
They basically basically said, kids, stop exploding things. And Shigaraki was like, no, do it. Kill people.
Shigaraki took offense to that. Like, let him become a terrorist. So, FMA and Assassination Classroom had good endings because we got to see everything we wanted.
You start off what they tell you what the kid wants, and they do it in the end. FMA's one is very cute because it's getting his brother's body back. Assassination Classroom is heartbreaking because it's to kill Koro Sensei, and they do it. And I was like, this would have been the one time I would have been okay if we didn't do this, but okay.
I get to be with his weird girlfriend in the end.
So I think a lot of people think this is supposed to be like a Naruto become Hokage moment, right? Because you need something.
You need something.
You can't be like Dragon Ball or Fairy Tail where there was never a goal from the beginning. So now we're at this point where the story keeps going. Now for Fairy Tail, it's crap. For Dragon Ball, Super is great. It's not the best. Super is not better than Z, obviously, but Super is cute and it's fun to read. And I love Ultra Instinct, Ultraviolet Eagle, and Black Frieza.
Okay, my problem is Deku from the beginning. This is a story. This is what he says, how I became the greatest hero. And maybe because we binged it, it got ruined. But all of a sudden, in our binging in 1 month, the story became this is how we all became the #1 hero. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. But I will say, if I had to compare it to any other series, I would say it's more like Bleach's original ending, where Ichigo was granted these powers. They were never his permanently. I mean, Deku kind of was supposed to be. But Bleach's original ending where he, like, his time just runs out, he loses his powers, he says goodbye to Rukia. It's a beautiful panel, really it's a page, of him, like, saying goodbye. And that's what, to me, My Academia is. Because if Bleach had ended that way, I would say Bleach would be there up with, like, Full Metal and Assassination Classroom was one of the best endings. And I think My Academia went that route, where it's the end of this story, but it is not the end of Deku. I like a story where, like, there's a clear end, like I said, not like Dragon Ball or Fairy Tail, and definitely not like Seven Sins.
We don't worry about 7 Deadly Sins, okay? I can't get into how terrible 7 Deadly Sins were. They just kind of ruined a lot of things they set up just so they could have a sequel.
See, as much as I don't like the villains in My Academia, at least they didn't keep introducing a villain, then a bigger villain, then a bigger, like, all in a hierarchical, they're related to each other way. Because it's okay for Dragon Ball when they do, like, it's all separate, but when it's like, oh, the next big baddie, it's like, it's a little annoying.
That's what they did in Naruto, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the thing I can't stand, because it went from Orochimaru, who was an ex-Akatsuki, to the Akatsuki, to Obito, who technically started the Akatsuki. Tobi was manipulated by Madara, who had Black Zetsu, who then went to Lady Katsuya or Kagura, whatever the fuck her name is. Very annoying, especially when you hammer it all in the last arc.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something controversial. I did not care for the League of Villains. It will never be the Akatsuki because Benner Toga's powers was not great.
No, and then, like, Mr. Compress didn't really have a role, although he had cool powers. And then there was that magnetic lady, but she was gone as soon as she came.
Bury your gaze.
So it's just like, again, the big flaw with My Academia is that it did not have good villains except Dobby.
But Dobby was not strong enough to carry the series.
But otherwise, it had a great cast of characters. It's still, I think, one of the best written stories, regardless of some things being forced in.
Okay, they did the hospital arc, whatever you call it. That was a great war arc. Then they actually do the final war arc, and you're like, damn, they did the hospital scene better. Like, I feel like it peaked. You got to see the bunny lady at her fullest before she started losing limbs.
Hawk was cool. Endeavor did his thing, and then he just redoing it, and it's like, well, I don't need to see him redo it.
Because Endeavor's power, as cool as it was being like, injured heroes are the scariest. It's like, you're doing the same shit, Endeavor.
You know what, too? I feel like Endeavor really shined when he was fighting the Nomu.
Yes.
When he got his scar. Like, that was his big moment. Now you're using him again and again, but he doesn't have anything new.
It's literally what happens to Natsu in Fairy Tail, where, like, he doesn't do any training arc. His fire and just gets stronger.
I wish My Academia didn't take place over 2 years. I do wish they had a time skip. Like, the Vigilante arc could have been a time skip. Just to show, like, actual training and growth.
To be fair, I would have been hella sad if, like, Deku was like that in his weird depressive state for years.
Okay, sure, but it would make more sense. 2 years. As we know from One Piece, 2 years is the minimum for a time skip. 6 months is not a time skip.
Sorry, Bleach. Ichigo really did lose his power for 6 months, huh?
Wasn't the time skip? Oh, no, yeah, I guess you're right? Because he would have to lose his powers, then they do the Fullbringers, and then they go into Thousand Year Blood War arc.
I think 7 Deadly Sin had a 2-month time skip and it made me so upset.
It's not a time skip.
Not a time skip.
The story is just continuing.
Everyone just kind of got different outfits.
You know, it'd be nice to have a time skip. Case closed.
Yeah, that would be nice, actually. No, but yeah, so this is something I will argue, but I do think the My Hero Academia ending is better than the Demon Slayer ending. Because I will take Deku versus Shigaraki's Dreamscape fight over his weird war of attrition against Muzan, where they were just waiting for the sun.
See, I don't know if I agree with that because I can't stand the whole Psyche thing.
I feel like the only thing the Demon Slayer ending, spoilers, sorry, is that it was shorter, so it hurt less. Because Demon Slayer had the same problem where you had an awesome fight against Akaza, Doma, and Moon Breeding Demon. And Akaza had that sad past. I don't even want to get into the Moon Breeding guy, whatever. And in Doma, you get to go into Kanao and Inosuke's psyches. But then, like, with Muzan, it's like, okay, Muzan is just an irredeemable bad guy. He killed the doctor that gave him immortality, and he went, oh shit, he was supposed to tell me more of his secrets. My bad. And then, like, you just have a mid-fight with mid-powers.
Yeah.
There was no amazing moment in the last battle. So, like, just like My Academia, you peaked too soon. You used up all your good ideas, and then you couldn't stick the landing.
However, they do the cute thing with the Descendants, and I love that so much. And the reincarnation and everything. Okay, that and then what Haikyuu did with that ending by showing everyone's career. I think that's kind of what we wanted with My Academia. Just to see what they did as adults.
Yeah, I could have taken a chapter of what they did as adults over whatever the fuck the spinner chapter was.
Yes, absolutely. Because that would have been cute. And then, like, he does so much world building anyway, so why not? And then you're doing the whole, like, it's a time of peace thing, so not everyone has to be, like, a crazy hero.
You do need brand deals, though.
Yes, you do need to become perfume brand models, music people, whatever anyone else is doing.
I don't know, because these goddamn assholes teased us of what these heroes were doing and then not fully go into it.
What was Red Riot's thing? That
He's just
now
very popular with men.
Yeah, but I mean, what did you do? Did you turn like
His
super
catchphrase,
gay?
Manly. It's hard arguing that Kyoshi was not a little bit gay. Like, he can be bisexual, but
He's just pan. It's just like anybody who's cool.
Okay, so like end all be all, Deku should have been a core counselor. It doesn't make sense that he was just a teacher.
Absolutely.
And then we didn't need this kid who got his mouth sewed up to give Granny a redemption.
That was weird.
Okay, one question. A lot of people saying that the ending of My Academia is mute because they didn't save Shigaraki or Himiko, even though that's what they set out to do. They just let them die.
Technically, they were saved. They just weren't redeemed. They didn't get a chance to live their life with like a second perspective now. I don't think it's mute. I mean, again, he did save them. Ochako saved Himiko. Deku saved Shigaraki, but it was just like, again, that's when the writing gets weird, right? It's kind of like, did they want to get saved? They need to be saved. But did they get saved? Yes. So it's never a mute ending because they're still the heroes that they're meant to be, even if they didn't save them. But at least they tried. That they're there for them. So I think now our goal is to read One Piece.
Holy shit.
And be there for their ending because I will not accept any spoilers for their ending. I will say, I don't think I've seen any My Academia spoilers. So I'm not in the fandom.
I will say though, they always advertise Two Piece, the sequel.
Shut up.
Goodbye everyone. And just like My Hero Academia, you too can become a hero for the low price of $1 bajillion.